Here at Jubilee Studios again. I'm here for part 3 of our hooded towel tutorial. Now, up to this point, we've got our towel all put together. And today what I'm going to do is show you how to put a name on your towel. I'm going to put it on the left-hand side of my towel. And that's important to know because you want to have a reference point to where your finished edge is going to be when you decide to put your name into the hoop. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside for right now. Now, I'm on a laptop instead of my Mac this time because I have Sew What Pro loaded on my husband's laptop. On my Mac, Sew What Pro is not compatible. I would have to get some other software to make it to where it could be used. In the programming that was available for my Mac, I found it a little harder to use. Sew What Pro I was able to get on the first time and able to use it. So I've got my thumb drive here and I've already added my font that I'm going to use to my thumb drive. I've loaded it in here. I've got my Sew What Pro opened, and now I'm going to click here. After I've got it in, I opened my file, so I've got my letters open. So I'm going to cancel that for just a second because I want to show you a little trick. If you go up here and click on this little icon here, I can click that, and it shows all of my fonts right here. Otherwise, you have to keep going in to open and merge and all of that. This makes it a little bit easier. Now, I'm using my 5x7 hoop because the name that I'm doing is only a 3-letter name. So I think that it will fit fine on my 5x7. And I'm going to try to do a 3-inch, and we'll see how this works out for me. Sometimes you just have to fiddle with it a little bit and see what's going to fit. If it's not going to fit, you can, if you have a repositionable hoop, you can go up to that. Now this takes a little bit of time because you got to scroll and it doesn't always want to act right with you. But it'll tell you. Now you'll notice this has the name of the font. It tells you what size it is. It's got what letter it is. And then it has PES so that you know if it works with your machine or not. So I've got to keep scrolling down to get to my 3-inch letters. Okay, there's the 1/2 inch. Let's see where they've got the 3 inches hidden. They are on here, I promise. Okay, so now that I've got my 3-inch letters up, I'm going to click on the K. Now you'll notice that it automatically comes in this directional mode. So what I have to do is I have to rotate it to get it to the direction that I want it. And then I just click on the text box and scooch it right up here to where I want it. Alrighty. Then I'm going to go back over here to my letters. I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to go ahead and grab my I, because I have an I and then I need an A. So let me just scroll up here a little bit and find my A. It takes it a second for some reason. It may just be my computer being persnickety. So I'll click on the A. Okay, so let me just adjust these so they're not all in the way. Now you'll notice, see, every time I have to rotate them. And then I'm going to position it to where I think it looks the best. Right in there next to the K. And then I'll look at it and see if I like where everything is positioned at. Let me rotate my I. Alrighty, and we'll scooch this down. And you'll see where these lines come in handy to help you decide where to position everything. So I make sure they're all lined up on the line. I'm going to scoot this I in a little closer. Okay. And I think that that looks good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up here to File, and I'm going to go to Save As. Click on my thumb drive because I don't want it to replace my font. I'll just put the name there and save. Okay, now what I have to do in order to take my thumb drive out safely is I'm going to have to close this and go right down here to eject my hardware. Okay, so now what I've done is I have loaded my thumb drive. I can go back and show you where the pattern is. So I'm going to click here on my USB. Okay, then I've got to scroll over. I should have deleted all these other things on here. But there's my name that I've got. And so after I click on it, it's going to darken. And I'm going to push my little arrow. So this shows me that it's ready to go. And it's going to stitch one letter at a time. Now, remember the type of the color thread. I didn't change that when I was doing the name in my computer. So it's just going to default to sky blue. Sometimes it says blue, sometimes it says black. But I don't pay attention to that because I'm going to use whatever. Now for this towel, I am using black for my letters. You could coordinate. You could use orange. You could use blue or just whatever. A child's favorite color or anything like that. I have hooped my tearaway stabilizer. Now I do use tearaway with names, but you can use cutaway, whatever works best for you. You'll fiddle around with it and see what you like the best. Because I am doing toweling and letters, I'm going to put a piece of wash away on the top because that's going to help my threads not push down into the loops of the towel. So let me get this loaded and we'll get started. Okay, now I've started stitching, and you'll notice I did not use anything to hold this wash away stabilizer down. I just hold it in place until my letters start stitching out and then let it go. So I'm going to finish stitching each of my letters and then I'll show you what it looks like when we finish. Okay, one thing that I noticed while it was stitching, you notice my second stitching is the I, and then my third one here, it comes back in and it's my letter A. I did not realize when I was in Sew What Pro and I clicked on the I first because it came before I got to the A, it will actually stitch in the order that you put this on your hoop in the Sew What Pro program. So it's no big deal because it did scoot over to the place it was supposed to do the I and then went back to the A. But if you wanted to, all you've got to do is push your forward color button and it would take me to the A and it would stitch that one out first, and then I could just advance or go back to the I. So just a little tip on that. That was something that I just learned this evening. So just so you know that it won't mess your thing up. It's still going to stitch in the right spot. It just might stitch it out of order. Okay, so I'm all finished stitching my name. It'll tell me that it's finished sewing. I pressed OK. Now it'll say OK to delete the selected pattern. Now this does not delete it from your thumb drive. It only takes it out of the embroidery machine's memory. So you don't have to worry about losing it. So if I push OK and I go back here, you'll see all of my stuff is still there. And there's my name. And so it'll do it all over again. But we're not going to do that right now. So we're all finished. So I'm going to unhoop it. Make sure that you've raised your presser foot. And this stabilizer will just tear right off. And this towel is ready to give as a gift. So I hope you enjoyed this segment. If you have any questions, just post them on our channel. And I'll answer any that I can. I hope you found this helpful, and if you did, please remember to like and subscribe so you'll get a notification of our next video. Thank you.